Who can't resist beautiful spring wildflowers? The trouble with annual wildflowers is, although they may look dazzling when they're in bloom, in Southern California by June, July, definitely August, they're a dry, brittle wreck. So although I always have wildflowers in my garden, I also think it's important when you're considering how to kind of map out your native plant garden, what'll be the basic plants that will give your garden kind of its foundation that will sustain it, not just through the vibrant spring months, but throughout the rest of the year. Now I'm going to share with you my favorite native California plants. These are the top 5 plants that I would suggest that you might consider. I have them in my yard. I can vouch for them. They're hardy, durable, and look good at all times of the year. So number 1 on my top 5 list would be the Matilaha poppy. It's got that dazzling blossom. Sometimes people call it the fried egg flower. It's a hardy plant. It can grow in almost any of our microclimates, barring the desert and the high mountains. The thing that you need to consider if you'd like a Matilaha poppy for your yard is you need to have space and sun. Definitely on my top 5 list is the hardy manzanita. Here's an example of a handsome manzanita behind me. I like them because they're evergreen, which means they'll stay green even in the dry, hot summer months. They're not particularly splashy, not in terms of their floral display, but people admire them because of the pretty green foliage and their beautiful kind of reddish brown bark. It's often peeling and it's very attractive. Now, if you're considering a manzanita for your yard, what you have to consider is that they need space, sunshine, and well-drained soil. They can range from everything that, every size and shape, from manzanitas that seem more like ground covers to manzanitas that seem like trees. So while we're at the Rancho Santa Ana Botanic Garden today, we'll take a look at some other manzanitas, and I'm sure there's one that would be suitable for your yard. Now, one of the plants on my top 5 list has to be the ceanothus, sometimes referred to as the California lilac. Now, you may not think it looks that special right now, but let me tell you, it's the middle of the summer and it still has these beautiful glossy green leaves. In the springtime, however, it's referred to as the California lilac. It's absolutely drenched with powdery blossoms that can range from kind of cream to powder blue to a deep blue violet, and it looks absolutely stunning. So ceanothus, it can be dense, it can be low growing, almost like a ground cover, and it can grow the size of a tree. So ceanothus or California lilac, definitely on my top 5 list. Here's the salvia growing in my own front yard. It's actually growing in the parkway strip between the sidewalk there and the street. It's growing in a hot, exposed area and seems to be thriving. Look at these blossoms. I can also see in here, it attracts honeybees. So if you have the space, the sunshine, and well-drained soil, and want a plant that attracts honeybees, perfect plant for your yard, salvia. Also on my top 5 list is the Zeuschneria, sometimes referred to as the California fuchsia. Look at it. It's the middle of summer and it's set these beautiful red-orange tubular flowers. It attracts hummingbirds. It's growing in front of my home. between the sidewalk and the street behind me. So it's growing out here in this sunny, dry, busy spot. It sets its flower when many native plants are actually taking a rest. So it's a great plant. So you need to have space, some sunshine, good drainage, and if you're looking for something that is kind of close to a ground cover, this is an excellent plant, and I recommend it because it brings that beautiful splash of color to your yard in the summer when many native plants are literally taking a rest.